Okay, greetings. This is Gerard. I am a freelance publicity photographer. I've been in the entertainment business for over 40 years. I am also a motivational speaker. I am editor-in-chief of a couple of magazines. I've also been personal photographer to uh, such high-profile individuals as the Godfather Soul, Mr. James Brown, Vonney Hilton Sweeney, the founder of the Pre-Grammy Party, the Muscular Dystrophy Sports event that was held in New York. I've done a number of things. I've also been a youth advisor for the NAACP, and I am currently living in the Philippines. I moved here about 4 years ago. I've gone back a couple of times, but due to COVID, I didn't go back last year. But I'm living in the Philippines, and I am also learning a lot about doing videos. I've been watching this blogger, and she has been giving me some great ideas. Not only as being uh, a more effective blogger, but also a better photographer. You know, it's interesting because as a photographer, first of all, I had always wanted to be in the entertainment business, virtually because of my exposure to the entertainment business through my mother, who was also she was a hostess, and she had a lot of exposure with high profile individuals, and I met through my early part of my life. So it had prompted me to want to be in the entertainment business. But I couldn't act, dance, sing, or tell jokes, and I wanted to be there. And so I sat down and I tried to come up with a way to break into the entertainment business. And so I finally decided that, I'll become a photographer. Because each and every person in the entertainment business is going to need a photographer. Not only that, I used to drive a New York City taxi cab, and when I would stop or when I would pass a movie set, I would double back and I would find out who was in the movies, and I would get out and take pictures of them, and I would rush them to the newspaper to try to get them published. My first publication was that of Richard Burton and Tatum O'Neal when they worked on the movie Circle of Fear. And, it was very, I've always had the ability to bypass security. I don't know how, but I just something that maybe because I just always blended in. I had nothing extra extraordinary about me that people just looked at me and said, let him go. One of those type of things. But it ended up with my being in front of Richard Burton and Tatum O'Neal. And so I asked Mr. Burton, can I take a picture of you? And he said, yes. And this is my first big, major celebrity. And so I held my camera and I'm shaking like this. And I put it up to my eyes. And I took a picture of him. And I asked Tatum, and Tatum she gave me this, this snot look. She wasn't even interested. But I took a picture of Richard Burton and Tatum O'Neal. And I rushed it to the newspaper to post them. They published it. And when I saw the papers the next day and I saw my photo in the newspaper, I said, oh my God, look at my work. Oh my God. And I was hooked from that day. I knew from that moment on, I wanted to see all my work published in the papers. And that's how I became a publicity photographer. I became a publicity photographer because it wasn't a whole lot I needed to know about photography. I just needed to know how to get one picture. And with enough buttons and gadgets on the camera, I was able to get those one pictures. And out of, I say 85% of mostly everything I took pictures of on high profile events ended up in a publication somewhere in the world. Now, it's important to know that, we all cannot be astronauts. We all cannot, have goals of taking off into a rocket and circling around the world, circling around space, and what have you. No, So, but that shouldn't dampen your dreams. Because to me, the first thing that you have to establish about yourself is where you want to be. You see, you want to be by Cape Cod, or you want to be on a launch pad, or you want to be near rockets. This is where I want to be. I want to be in the entertainment business. So you have to look around that profession or that goal and that dream and find out that what kind of job, what kind of position, police will put you in the atmosphere of where you want to be and following your dreams and your goals. We all can't go up in space, but some of us may be just as content of polishing off that rocket. Wow, look at me. Here I am. Wow, I'm where I want to be. You see, following your dream is something that when I was coming up, we've lost that. I think we didn't have all the influences that we have today. I remember coming up where what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a police officer. I want to be a fireman. I want to be a teacher. I want to be the. We've lost the what's the word I'm looking for? Ambition to want to be something. And as a result, a lot of people today just go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate, But anyway, I wanted to share that with you that I am a photographer, and and I was talking about this blogger who I was listening to, and she was giving me a lot of insight about lighting, how to make a good zoom. See, like now she talked about the lighting in my glasses. See the lighting in my glasses, which I don't mind. I'm raw. Hip hop, urban, raw, the truth. A photographer's magazine. That's what I call it because I'm raw. Because what you see is what you get. But I learned a lot of how to present myself and how to develop content. And that was an interesting message that I got from her video. Her video was dealing with content, because me, I'm kind of all over the board. If you see some of the videos, I talk about, now, my being in entertainment business, when I put my camera down, when I was at some of these high profile events, I was lost. I didn't know what to do. So I know as long as I had my camera around my neck, photographer, Mr. Photographer, and even some girls have fantasies of being with photographers, which I gladly fulfill, much to their disappointment. But anyway, but when I put the camera down, what I ended up doing was I became a dealer. I was dealing drugs. And so I had two purposes. I had a legitimate purpose of being a photographer and had an illegal purpose as being a drug dealer. So, I was legal and illegal on the set or in the atmosphere. And eventually when I put my camera down, I decided to go, and it was doing what they were doing. I ended up, as they say, getting high on your own supply. I set a goal where I wanted to reach $5,000 because to me, the two things about when you're dealing is I'm not going to tell you the secret about dealing because I don't want to encourage anybody to doing drugs. But there's a formula. There's a formula. But anyway, I ended up getting high on my own supply. I ended up with an addiction. And, like Gladys Knight wrote the song, "The LA proved too much for the man," on the midnight train to Georgia. And that's exactly what happened to me. The LA was just too much for me. So I loaded up the truck and I moved to Oregon, Portland, that is, and ended up there where I tried to escape my addiction. But, wherever you are, no matter where you go, there you are. So anyway, so for a long time, a long period, I was lost in the fog of addiction. I lost my children twice, uh, but uh, I got clean. I'm gonna tell you the story. In fact, I'm the one who started Narcotic Anonymous in Multnomah County jails. So those of you who are watching this who from the Pacific Northwest, I'm the one who started Narcotic Anonymous because when I got arrested there, I had spoke to the powers that be to give us something to do to give me permission to start a Narcotic Anonymous group, and it was granted. So those of you who've gone there and doing Narcotic Anonymous, you can say thank you, Gerard, because it was me. I was also the first person in Portland to also have an ankle bracelet. I don't know. These type of claims to fame, that I like to forget, but these are things that, experiences that I had in my life. So, I was the first person to have an ankle bracelet, So anyway, I say all that to say this, that I got arrested in 93. No, 96. 96. I ended up doing 3 years in prison. I was a convict, for selling drugs. But when I got out in 1999, I decided to turn my life around. I started, I always wanted to have more children, but then I decided that there was enough children, that needed guidance, that needed a male influence, that I probably can get involved with and mentor and teach. And so that's what I did. I got involved in organizations, where I was a youth advisor, and it was very rewarding. One organization being NAACP, and it was funny how I got involved with the NAACP because I was one day going to my parole officer, and my parole officer, I got into a taxi, and I was driving back, and the black girl, the sister, get on the radio and say, "One black man going to Bayshore." And he said, "Pay in advance." I sat in the back. I said, "Wait a minute. You can't do that. You can't, identify, my ethnicity, my my ethic, my my blackness." You can't do that. You can't tell them one black man going to Bayshore. So I was outraged. She said, "Oh, it's a joke. It's a joke we do." I said, "No, this is unacceptable. This is absolutely unacceptable." So I went to human rights. I filed a complaint against the taxi company, and I went around the circuit on the NAACP speaking about the racism that was taking place on Long Island, and through that, and with my photography, I became a valuable asset, I guess, to the plight of the racism that was going on Long Island. Now, when you file a claim through any of these organizations of human rights and everything, nothing may not happen, but you can rest assured that somewhere along if there ever was a case strong enough to really pile on to that organization, your case file will be included in that, and you have to take solace in knowing that it will be there as one of the, you know, one of the cases or one of the examples pointing out the racism or pointing out whatever in a class action suit or what have you. So yeah, so now I'm in the Philippines now. Oh wait. Let me get back to this blogger. Don't forget you're watching Gerard Black in the Philippines with the truth. Let me get back to this blogger who I'm listening to because there's a hook in that. So yeah, she was talking about content and monetizing. So, I'm learning a lot about, I've always said, if you look at a lot of my posts, I said, where are the young people? Where are the people where are my daughters that can show me how to use YouTube, that can show me how to get the most out of Facebook? You know, you know, I have a Twitter account I don't even use. I still can't figure out Zoom. You know what I'm saying? So where are the young people? That could show me these things, to show us old folks how to do these kind of things. And so she was talking about contents. She was talking about imposter syndrome, imposter syndrome, which is something I'm really related to, because it's like sometimes you have people who have this grandiose type of feeling that they can do anything. They don't need no help. They can do what they want to do. What's saying no problem. You just refuse to ask for help. Whether they achieve it or not, that's the type of aura they get up. Or someone like like me, who, yes, I want to do this, I want to do that, who start projects and don't finish them. you know it hasn't always been like that for me, but now it seems to be a big part of my existence. you know I have projects that I lack the discipline to finish them. And I know that about myself. And there are other personality traits, I'm a smoker. If you think of yourself as a smoker, you're gonna smoke. You gotta stop thinking yourself as a smoker, and then maybe you'll quit. And I quit every day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm learning a lot. And content, like I spoke to before. She spoke about the content of the videos you post in order to get traffic, in order to get attention. Who are you targeting? You know, she pointed out that she's making money now. The girl. She also talked about the financial aspect of it, and I was like, wow, like that. That most of the people who view her video are often educators, teachers, and people of that nature, because there is a learning that takes place in her videos, and I can attest to that because I'm learning. So am I trying to get my own content? Because like I said earlier, I'm kind of all over the place. I am trying to narrow it down to my giving you, Gerard, black in the Philippines, with the truth. You know, do I walk you around like I see other bloggers just walking around malls and just, this is the mall, this is the bank, look, these are people on the sidewalk, I'm going to feed them. Like that, which I have to admit that I've been kind of guilty of that too. you know, but you want to do something different, you know. So I have to narrow down my content. I have a content idea that I'm going to start doing again. Start doing, another project I'm going to put right here. Start doing, once I get the discipline to want to do it. So, but I'm learning about content. So it's a beautiful thing. To finally find someone who I understand, who is teaching me how to make my videos better, you know, how to narrow down my goals of what it is that I want to do, and how to pursue them, and learn more about my own self, or how I appear on camera. Some of the mistakes people make on camera. I know I have a tick with my mouth, you know, but then that's from an incident that happened because I had my central nervous system damaged So I have a lot of involuntary movement. I am conscious of it most of the time. But if I'm not, I've had people says, Gerard, can I have some gum? I say, oh baby, I don't have any gum. My mouth just moves like that. And I'm like, I'm sorry. So in a way, I'm very grateful that now we walk around with masks on. So this way, they don't have to see it. But I know that about myself. And this commentator is talking about, you know, getting to know yourself and how you appear, how you move your hands, how to appear more positive, more assured about what you're saying and what you're doing, and even if you're selling, how to sell, whereas people want to buy your product and not thinking you're taking advantage of them. That well, you're not taking advantage of someone if you're giving someone, what they want, you know, and how to feel more worth about yourself, which has always been a problem for myself because I never knew my true value. I think that's one of the hardest things that we have to come to terms with when we're trying to do something to make money, and that's trying to um, know the value of oneself. You know, I know. Um, I can sell your product better than I can sell mine because I can take your product and I've done what was it, not call center, when you call on the phone. I did a lot of that. I sold hot water heaters. I sold solar panels. A lot of things. And a lot of things I sold um, over the phone. And you know, uh, I even sold as a baby photographer. Sold shootings. But when it comes to selling my own product, you know, um, I'm too good at it. Now, what do I mean that I'm too good at it? Which it sounds funny. It means that I know someone once told me, said Gerard, you know, you know what, you know why I don't trust you? I said, oh, okay. He says because you have all the answers. He says you talk fast and you have all the answers. Which is what you want. See, I learned that when you're selling someone something, there should never be a moment of silence. Rather on the phone, if you say, well, how does that price sound to you? And there's nothing. If they're not saying nothing on the phone, then just, well, we have another option if you want to. Can I tell you about that? And see, the whole idea is to keep the listener or keep the person engaged in what it is that you're selling. So I learned how to sell techniques that even when I was selling my magazine, I mean, I put on a hell of a demonstration as far as selling my magazine, but people just had problems putting money in my hands. You know what I'm saying? which is terrible. Just terrible. They just don't want to put money in my hands. I couldn't figure it out. So I know I've tried to have a couple assistants. I try to do the beautiful girl type of representative. I was at the opening of what's the place called? I think it was called Headquarters. Headquarters, one of the uh, newest adult stores or adult bars, uh, strippers and all that stuff in New York City. I got called to the opening of it, to cover it. And so of course when I go there, there's a lot of clients there. So I brought this beautiful girl and said, okay, look, it's an open bar. You could drink what you want to drink like this, but remember, you're here. You're here not to talk business. You're here to get phone numbers and and get assured that you can follow it up. Now, you don't want to just get phone numbers to anybody. The first thing that you do whenever you go into a situation and says, "Hi, my name is Gerard. What type of business are you in?" "Oh, I am an assistant, maintenance guy at a school and something." Like, "Oh, okay, well, great. It's nice to meet you. Okay, you have a good day, pal." That's not who you're targeting. But when you meet someone and say, "Hi, what type of business?" "Oh, yes, I am the director of such and such a school and or whatever." Are you involved in the advertising aspect of that?" "Yes, we do a lot of sales each year." "Okay, well, look, I'll tell you what. I don't like talking business here, but can I give you my card and you give me your card and I can call you with a follow up where I can come and have an appointment with you and talk about what we do?" And they say, "Sure, yeah." So the idea was to get as many people as you can who are in a position to buy what it is that you're selling, without ruining the evening trying to sell somebody something. That was the goal. So anyway, we are sitting at a table, and her drink is finished, and so I tell her, "Okay, go get another drink." "I don't want to get another." "No, no, no, baby, go get another drink." I said, "Look," I said, "you don't understand. We're in an adult environment. You are a beautiful young lady. By the time you walk from this seat to that bar, you're probably going to be hit on by 5 times. Now, once someone approaches you to talk to you, you ask them, of course, their name, what type of business they're in, and you make decision if this is someone who is in a position to sell or to buy the magazine or buy advertisement in our magazine, because this is what we're doing. We're selling advertisement to the magazine." And she just sat there and froze. She walked to the bar, got a drink, came back. I said, "What was that?" You see, some people have to believe in you to want to do what it is that you're asking them to do. If they don't believe in you, well, then it becomes very hard for them to do anything. I was hiring someone as a representative, and while I'm hiring, I'm interviewing them, whatever. And the girl was on the phone, and I don't like cell phones on the job. So I over here make an appointment for someone to come in for an interview. I said, "Excuse me, who are we talking?" "Oh, I was talking to someone." I said, "You know what? Get out. How are you going to apply for a position working for me if you're on the phone trying to get a job somewhere else? That's crazy." I had one girl who I finally groomed. I groomed her. I took her out a few times, to watch me go through the magazine, to show presentation, like this, and show the different ads that I had in the magazine, and the magazine itself. And don't you know, the first day I sent her out on her own to sell, she came back trying to sell me another photographer business. I said, "What the fuck are you doing? Are you crazy?" See, he was a hell of a salesman. He was able to turn the salesperson around into becoming a solicitor for his business. I said, "Wow." I said, "Go, just go." Now, when someone works for me, what I normally do is I say, "Look, pow, here's $100 up front. There's $100 advance to your salary. So this way you don't have to worry about gas, you don't have to worry about transportation, you don't have to worry about nothing. Get to and fro. This is to show you I'm serious about what it is I'm doing." Let me tell you about my magazine, and then I'm going to stop because I know I'm going on and going on. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, share, like, do all those good things to carry me over the threshold to my $1 million I'm not in this to make money. I'm into this just to talk to you. And when I was putting the magazine together, the president of the NAACP, her name is Yvonne Quirk, Yvonne Patterson Quirk, from Islip, New York, NAACP. We were also on the Islip Arts Council, the board of the Islip Art Council, where we were the only organization that hosted the New York Philharmonic on Long Island, which is a big deal. So anyway, so she had a friend in the advertisement industry on Madison Avenue. Now you can't get no closer to the major advertisers than on Madison Avenue, because they all dream about being on Madison Avenue. Madison Avenue is the hub of the entertainment capital of the world. So anyway, so I meet this guy, and he looks through my magazine. He sits there and he goes through the pages. One by one, I gotta hand it to him. You know, it's not like he just flipped through. He gave it a lot of look through. Maybe read a couple of things like that. He turned the magazine over because my magazine is two-sided. So he turned the magazine over, and he says, "This magazine is a disaster." I'm like, "Wow." Oh my Lord. Oh my God. Oh, give me the smelling salt. Give me the smelling salt, please. I can't take it no more. I can't take it. He says, who are you targeting? He said, you are all over the place in this magazine. He said, you have to target. Are you targeting the Gerard crowd? Are you targeting the hip hop crowd? Are you targeting, who are you targeting? Sports? Who are you targeting? And then I said, well, with today's social media, a publication doesn't need to target. Because people, when they go on their cell phones, they're not targeted. They are going all over the place. I said, I'm looking for something that I can put on the table that grandma can open up and find something in it, that you can leave on the coffee table and little sis may find something in it. I'm looking at something that appeal to the whole family. And he says, there is no such animal. No such animal. I said, I disagree. So I went on. But thank you. Thank you for your input. I will always read your input. Now, one other story before I finish, and so I can sew this up. When I developed my magazine, it was called S.G.I.B. That stands for Strong G Island Biz. It was Long Island's first urban bilingual music magazine. And Strong G Island Biz, I got a mess on what it was. Strong G Island Biz, that's what it was called. So I found a graphic artist to help me design the magazine. Her name is Cindy. I never forget Cindy, sister. So we sat down together and we come up with a contract that I would pay her, $2,000 for designing the magazine. So she designed the magazine, and it was nice. Matter of fact, my first advertisement in it should have been the handwriting on the wall, was from the artist who was on the cover. His manager gave me a $300 check and it bounced. I should have gotten up and said, okay, that's it. This is an omen right here. This is going to tell me what's going to happen on my journey with my magazine. So we put the magazine out. Now, I had taken it to Hudson Distributor. That's the name, Hudson Distributor. Hudson Distributor controlled all the newspaper stands, all everywhere, from mom and pop stores to 7-Elevens to grocery stores. Now, this level of distribution is not the level of, say, like the distribution you find in supermarkets and all that stuff, because that's when you print something like maybe 50,000 or 100,000, copies and have them distributed throughout the supermarket. And you see them whenever you're walking out the supermarket. You flip through and you buy it or whatever. No, this level of distribution was on a much lower scale. 7-Elevens and all these other stores mostly. So within the month, the guy gave me a printout sheet of where he distributed my magazines, and it showed where all these 7-Elevens had rejected my magazine. I said, why are they rejecting my magazine? And in some parts of the column, it says, we dropped off 3 but picked up 5. I said, that don't make any sense. Or we dropped 5 and we sold 7. And so I said, well, this is the most bogus type of data sheet. It's so obvious, it's so blatant that the numbers were all wrong. So I decided to go to 2 7-Elevens. I picked 2 7-Elevens, and I went to them, and I spoke to the owner, because it showed that rejected. And I said, did you reject this magazine? He looked at my magazine, and he says, no. I said, did somebody, because they come early in the morning and drop the magazines off, and the employees put them on the stand. He says, could one of your employees had rejected the magazine? He said, no, the only person that can reject any item in this store is me. I own the store. He said, I did not see this magazine. I did not reject this magazine. He says, if there's no porn or anything like this, he said, I would never reject it. I would put it on the stand. I said, wow. I said, can you put that in writing that you never said? He said, yeah, he put it in writing for me. Yeah. And the distributor was now destroying my magazines. He was like taking back and destroying them. I said, wait a minute, because that's the MO. Like if you put newspapers out, or newspapers, when the ones that don't sell, they take them back and destroy them, what they do. But don't destroy my, Elizabeth, here I come, don't destroy my magazine, please. I'll take it back. I'll keep a whole stack of them just for me to put my head on when I lay down and sleep and say, my magazine. That's how much I cherished it. So anyway, the owner of 7-Eleven, he says, look, he said, these stands are not owned by us. And he said, they are owned by mafia. If they don't want your magazine on the stand, they're not going to put it on the stand. And I said, wow, is that what it is? So I took him to court. I took Hudson Distributor to court. Of course, the little guy lost. I tried to get them to stop destroying my magazines. They like this. I showed a data sheet to the judge where all this stuff is bogus, and it was small claims court like this. And of course, you get the notice by mail, and it says, you lost. A judgment for the defendant, which was Hudson's Distributor. So anyway, now when we designed the magazine, we had a plate. It's like a cookie. When you get a cookie cutter, you have a cookie that makes a certain shape in the dough, like that. Dough to the time. You have a certain shape that you make out of the dough. So anyway, when it came time to do the next issue, all I had to do was replace the photo, replace the text. And so, Cindy said $2,000. I said, Cindy, we've already designed the magazine. Why are you charging me $2,000 to lay it out? I said, we already got the cookie cutter shape for the magazine. And she said, well, that's the agreement. I said, what do you mean the agreement? $2,000 to lay out the magazine each month. But I did not know. See, if you are not aware of things, are you at fault? You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Something that George Bush couldn't say. President George Bush couldn't say. You know, but I did not know that she's going to charge me $2,000 to just replace, the new contents within the cookie cutter, like this. And so she held me to it. You know, we actually went to court and fought over it. And so I said, okay. Okay. It's my bad. My bad. My not knowing much about graphics and how it worked was the reason why I got flim-flammed, because that's what I did. I got flim-flammed by the sister. And she was, you're going to pay me, you're going to pay me. Yeah, I paid her. What can I do? It's in the contract, But I learned, about anyway. That's why I say now, I'm not a good reader, I'm not a good mathematician, But as the little I do know, I blame it on myself. You understand? I can't blame it on not having no one help me with my homework when I was young. I can't blame it on nobody wanting to make sure that I knew my ABCs. I had to learn them on my own. Okay, so getting back to this videographer. Now, this blogger, okay, it's interesting because my father was a photographer. I didn't know this, my becoming a photographer. I learned about it later in life, that he was also a photographer. I am a photographer. And now my daughter is a photographer. Now it's interesting how 3 generations of photographers, with not really having the influence from the previous generation in their life, and become a photographer. So I often said, Sigmund Freud, where are you? You need to look into this to see if generations are able to be hereditary as other traits are when individuals are developed. Can professions also be hereditary? I mean, without the influence. I mean, if I'm a plumber and I have a son in bumfucked Egypt, who we never had any contact with one another, and then one day we meet, and I said, "What do you do?" I'm a plumber. What do you do? I'm a plumber. Oh wow, how that happened? Like that type of thing. But anyway, the person who I'm learning from, who has this amazing blog that's teaching all the ins and outs of photography, zooming, how to create content, how to be a better YouTuber, and what other mediums they are, which I don't know, but how to pose in photographs, to avoid, all the different common mistakes that people make when making videos. But more importantly, the photography. And that person, I want you to look her up. Her name is G-I-E, Goodrich, Goodrich. And here I have to make a disclaimer. She's also my daughter. For many years, I always wondered what she would be doing or what she does or what have you. And it wasn't until my younger daughter got herself into a situation that her mother called me. And I told her, wait, before we talk about my number two, Janelle, tell me about Gianna. How was her life going? You see, I am not one to troll anyone, not even my daughters. You know. I figure what they want me to see, they will show me. She never did. What they want me to know, they will send me. Never did. So I actually put the mother in a position to give me some information of my oldest daughter that I've been yearning and yearning to want to know about her life, because we haven't spoken to anyone, each other in, well, I want to say 20 years or 15 years or something like that. Mostly based upon her misunderstandings. I'm not going to say mine, because mostly because of hers. You know, I don't think she knows why she won't talk to me. You know. But anyway, she finally sent me the things of what she's doing today, and I was blown away. I was so proud, so angry. Nah, I'm not angry. It's okay. It's better late than never. So that's why if you see me post something that says, please support my daughter, like, share, or subscribe, you know, it's for you, really. It's really for you, because it's good information. I know that that's my daughter, Gianna. And my daughter, Janelle, thank you very much. She's doing fine. She's living her best life. You know, all I can do is keep her blessing. She contacts me every now and then to let me know she's still alive. You know, which is all I ever ask for. You know, so other than that, remember, dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action. Never disrespect the elderly, and always pull someone up. And sometimes you may be home and see your vision. And the best revenge in life is to live good. I'm living good today. I hope you are too. And if you're lucky enough to have a woman like Ollie Woodson once said, the former lead singer of The Temptations, who sung the song, Treat Her Like a Lady, do just that. Make her feel like a queen. And ladies, if you're lucky enough to have a good man, and believe you me, I do know a few, one particularly, make them feel like a king. And remember, I'll always love you more. And to all yous out there who've ridden with me, who watch my video, who have encouraged me to put more videos out there, I hear you. You know, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because it's really all for you. I love you like a love song, baby. I'll talk to you later. Peace. Okay, what I got for you is today is a very special day because I'm happy to be visited by my first model who I photographed here in the Philippines. She is getting ready to go overseas to be an overseas worker. So the fact that her and her sidekick, Robin, came by, I want to take this chance to thank her for being a part of me, my Filipino Soul magazine. Come here, Marisol.
Yes.
This is Marisol. She is my first model, and she has. So tell everybody what you're getting ready to do.
Today or
What are your plans?
my plan is on next year. Next year in January, I will go to
Saudi.
no, Middle East to work.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I end my contract to you.
Oh, she is my contract. That's right. She was under contract, you know, and she got paid.
Yeah, because he already paid me. Yeah, that's why I go here to end my contract. You know.
Well, you know what? You know, I want to thank her because ever since I've been sending videos out about my daughter, Gia Goodrich.
Yeah.
You know, Marisol is one of the Filipinos who I met who learned all her English from watching Facebook.
Yeah, no. In
YouTube.
YouTube, I follow her in YouTube, in TikTok,
No,
and in
no, no.
Instagram.
Okay, yeah, before you talk about how'd you learn English?
No, I learned in English in YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why maybe my English is good based on my idea.
and since you've been following my daughter now, will you follow my
Yeah.
daughter where?
In YouTube and Instagram and also TikTok, I always watching her videos so I can, so I can learn the English. I can speak very well. My English also is maybe fluent.
Very fluent, yeah.
No, not good.
She's very
Sometimes
good.
it's good. Some words I don't know. I don't understand.
Well, I as you just saw, I posted a video I just talked about Gia Goodrich. So if you get a chance, log on to Gia Goodrich because she has a lot of ideas about how to present yourself on camera.
Yeah.
You know how to improve your exposure, how to develop content, your imposter syndrome, which is something that I've gotten a lot from. So if you get a chance, watch it. So tell everybody about what advice would you give them about following your dreams and your goals. See, I'm talking too fast. What advice would you give someone about following your dreams?
Maybe it's follow your dream. So don't judge a book by its cover.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Well, yes. Don't follow a book by its cover.
Don't judge a book by its cover. Follow your dreams
Yeah.
and make your goals come true.
So tell everybody where they can find you on Facebook or YouTube. How can they find you? What's your address? What's your Facebook address?
My Facebook.
Yeah, yeah.
My Facebook name is Maricel Hermosa Calyao. My Gmail also is Filipino Soul Magazine at Maricel.
At Gmail.com.
Maricel@gmail.com. Yeah.
Do you use that?
Yeah, I also use always.
Okay, good.
And also the password. I know the password.
Oh, don't tell nobody. Okay. Okay, so spell your name so this way they can find you.
Maricel Hermosa Calyao. Mericel. Hermosa Hermosa. Calyao Celleo. Maricel Hermosa Calyao.
Okay, with that, I got one more thing for you. We'll talk there. Can we throw them a kiss or something? Can we throw them a kiss?
There?
Yeah, like this or something. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
We also want to thank Mia on the camera, helping us. Come here, Robin. Robin, put all that down. Look, Robin's the pack animal. Robin carries everything. This is Robin. I call her my daughter. But Robin, tell everybody about yourself. Yeah, I know you've probably seen her on YouTube, on my YouTube videos before. But Robin, tell everybody about yourself.
About myself.
She is what's known as a kept woman. So what do you do, Robin?
Nothing.
Holding your bag.
That's right.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing. Bring all the grocery.
Well, Robin,
Nothing.
I want to thank you for stopping by and also coming by and seeing us. We hope to see you again, even when Maricel goes away.
Yeah,
you know you're more than welcome to come to our house anytime.
We see next 2 years again.
Okay, 2 years again.
Yeah. Then after when I go back to the Philippines, I sign another contract.
With me.
Yeah, with you to
Ah.
become a model again.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
watch Gia Goodrich so you'll learn
Yeah,
more
I
about being a
always
model.
watch your daughter.
She came over and took all the pictures
Yeah,
I took of her,
okay.
which is
Yeah.
something I never do. But with her, she's special.
Because
Okay, so go ahead.
because Gia Goodrich, I love to watch her video because the way she speak, oh my goodness, I understand. Unlike you, I don't understand sometimes because you eat your language, Oh, see, my English is good.
Yes, your English is very good. Okay, with that, can I all throw a kiss? Mwah. We'll talk to you later. Peace.
Okay.